Hello, Farlanders. My name is Kurt. Welcome back to Farlands or Bust. Oink, this is episode 796 of Farlands or Bust. Oh, hello, goodbye. Whoa, don't get smacked. Coming out. Woo, pigs. Do I need pigs? I do not need pigs. This episode will be coming out on Sunday, August 23rd, 2020. Being recorded live on Twitch, of course. And as you can plainly see, no change. No change to the jitteriness. I mean, come on, it's only been one episode. Think I'm gonna fix it after only one episode? We have to savor it. We have to just let it waft over us for a little bit. We must enjoy it. Oh, a boat. How convenient, because I'm going to use that to continue west to the Farlands here in Minecraft Beta 173. Like I said, for episode 796. We're up to $4,200 for PAWS, rather, the Progressive Animal Welfare Society over at farlandsorbust.com is where we're fundraising for that charity. And when you do donate, you can ask a question, and I'll answer that live on stream or live in the episode or podcast or however you choose to enjoy. Only got a few today, so I'm going to be relying on my chat to inform me of topics and things to talk about, because otherwise it's going to be a fairly dead episode. But yeah, that's right. farlandsorbust.com is where you can donate to our charity fundraiser. Sedate, thank you. I'm even going to turn to my chat to provide me the proper terminology. They are my thesaurus for this episode. We did recently, 2 episodes ago, reach and pass the float point, which is why the jitter is as big as it is. It doubled from 2 texture pixels to 4. And honestly, I think it makes it better because it's less the waveform of the jitter per se is a larger not frequency, is a larger bandwidth but lesser frequency. So I feel like it's less like a drill and more like water torture. Amplitude? Amplitude. See? My thesaurus is working as intended. So that's my opinion. That's my opinion of the switch to this floating point segment. Does that mean I'm going to keep it forever? Probably not. There is a way, I was informed years ago, to fix the terrain jitter. It's apparently, they tried to fix it. The developers tried to fix it, like they knew it was a problem to use floating point. So they actually wrote the code in for the double point precision, I don't know what exactly it's called, but they forgot to delete the floating point part, so the floating point part took precedent. So all, from what I understand, I would have to do is comment out or delete the floating point part, and the double precision part will just take over. And therefore, the jitteriness will disappear. Just double? Double what? Double point? double floating? Double precision floating point? Double mint gum. So yeah. And it has nothing to do with the Farlands. It has nothing to do with the Farlands at all. But those are 2 separately different things that happen in this version of Farlands or Bust. it'll lose some of its uniqueness, this world and this series, but it might be necessary. We did try turning view bobbing off during the stream. That made it worse. That just, even if it wasn't terrain jittering, I don't like having not view bobbing on, because then it just feels like I'm rolling around on a Segway. On like super sliders, those little sliding discs that you put under heavy furniture to slide it around carpet. That's what it feels like, and that is more queasy to me than the view bobbing and the terrain jitter. But yeah, that's where we're at. It'll change from a float data type to a double data type, which has twice the bits or something of that sort. I'm being told piecemeal in my Twitch chat. And it just has to do with the player positioning. It has nothing to do with the terrain at all. So yeah. Anyway, I think we've talked about that enough. Look at that sheep. Beans. Alright, let's take it easy. It's a little bit weird going on the other axis. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Indeed. So what's new? What's up? Not much. Kirby donated to pause and had a question. A food question. That should give us some stuff to talk about. Food? On Farlands or Busts? Never. What's a food you've never tried but would like to? For me, it's plantains and tamales. I don't know if I've had plantains, per se. I'm pretty sure I have, though. At least plantain chips or something like that. I've definitely had tamales. I'm not wild about them. People go nuts for tamales. I prefer other Mexican delicacies than tamales that are much easier to make and pack more flavor than a tamale do. But that's just my opinion. But what's a food I've never tried? Honestly, I don't like fish at all. And I've never had sushi, but I would try sushi if it was like really good sushi. Like if I, at some point in the distant future, am able to visit Japan or something like that, and I'm able to at least try it out, I would try sushi. I might not like it. I mean, like, I just think about, like, I can't even remember when or if the last time I've had salmon or tuna. I'm not a huge fan of it cooked, even. So raw, I don't know where that comes from. We did make our own vegan sushi with like peppers and avocado and other sort of meat substitutes, and that was good. I mean, it feels like the rice is the best part. The rice has properties of its own. But yeah, if you've watched that Netflix documentary, what's it? Somebody Dreams of Sushi. I forgot his name. But it's like a guy who has a very tiny sushi place in Japan that has only like 8 seats or something like that, but it's like one of the top restaurants in the world. Ishiro dream? Jiro dreams of sushi. Thank you very much. It's a very interesting documentary. And it'll make you want to try sushi. So yeah, I'm interested. Will it be a thing that I continue to eat afterwards? No. Oh, dang. I keep forgetting I gotta start making my elevated hidey holes differently because the block placement is so far off that I can't see it. Well, let's go to sleep. And sushi in the morning. And awakeness. And continuing on this. Hey, Wolfie, have a seat. Gotta feed you that pig in front of that other pig. So sushi. What else that I haven't tried? I don't, honestly, things I haven't tried, I probably haven't heard of either. So I can't say what it is, you know? I guess another problem with sushi is the soy sauce. Usually has gluten in it, so I would have to go to a place that has gluten-free soy sauce because it's a pretty heavy soy sauce situation. So that's another deterrent for running out and trying sushi at any point in time. Aside from the whole not liking fish thing. Yeah, no, I can't think of what else I could add to that list. I'm even trying to think of meats or fruits or something. So yeah, I mean, unless anybody in chat can mention something that I can't think of, I think that's probably where I'm gonna be with that. Right, yes, we have tamari sauce is like this gluten-free soy sauce, but going into a restaurant, particularly maybe one in Japan. Oh, no, that wasn't Wolfie. That was this other wolf. You dang noodles. That spooked me right out. And I'm not into trying, gross stuff. Like durian, isn't that the really gross, stinky fruit? That ooh, everybody, try it, it's, ooh. Yeah, I'm not into, thrill eating or anything like that. But, yeah, that's all I can think of right now. Key Sky's back, or Quay Sky, depending on who you ask. With the oh gosh, we're encountering some terrain. It's very interesting and beautiful, but also very dangerous. And I fear the further up I go into the clouds, the more and more dangerous it will become. Yep. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's try to circumnavigate this cliff. I'm concentrating. But Key Sky asks, do you think parents should name their kids only persona? And then they corrected me to say online persona is what they meant to type. Online persona. You mean more... I think saying online persona is misleading, but their handle. Do you think parents should choose their handle? As if it's their real name? At birth? On their birth certificate, they also get, a name that nobody else can register on twitch.tv as? Obviously, you're speaking less formally than that, just as a as a parenting technique, should parents choose their kids' online names, or at least moderate them? Probably. I mean, you should let the kid have their choice and expression of individuality, but I feel like parents should definitely moderate that, because there's a lot of horrible names, or if it's like a name that isn't private enough. XXX 42069. So yeah, that's rough to answer, because I personally have no interest in ever becoming a parent, apparently. So like that is a huge portion of my brain that does not get taken up with that thought, or any thoughts of parental guidancing, or needing to have any of that knowledge at all. True, they get to choose their legal name, at which point, when a kid gets old enough, should they be able to... I mean, you can. It's difficult and expensive, but you can change your name. As a parent, would you be upset if your child did that? Either their first name or their last name? There's nothing saying that they can't. So I guess you could apply the similar philosophy to their online names. And of course, that changes too. That changes throughout, somebody's online life. It's all too soon, though. It's all too soon, right? We don't know what's going to happen in 5 years, in 10 years, with the internet, with this thing we've created. Am I going to be Kurt J. Mac? Google got all weird for a while and tried to make everybody start use their real names, because the real names, that's a bad idea. That was not at all thought through, and clearly there wasn't enough diversity in the room to stand up and say, this is actually a terrible idea. So, yeah, I can't say. I mean, I certainly, if a kid is getting online for the first time under a certain age, it's difficult, but there should be some sort of parental input and guidance and oversight for that. But I don't think it would be entirely right for a parent to just be like, this is your online internet name, and you must stick with it. I mean, there are like, if you want a popular name, then yeah, you're going to have a bunch of numbers at the end, but that might be kind of a useful exercise in creativity, in coming up with something like that and then sticking with it. So yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting question. But like I said, one that I don't care. I don't care about because I'm never gonna have to make that choice. Indeed. Just use your social security number. Do schools still do that? Like, as their I thought you're not supposed to like use social security number for identification, but schools always did that. Like colleges and universities and things. That's dumb and stupid. And just very, very bad. It's very, very, very not good. Alright, let's make this hidey hole here. Elevated anyway. Gotta remember to... Oh man, see how weird that is? See how weird that is, man? At least on this angle I can place stuff right. Alright. Let's go to sleep, and I'm counting on you, chat, to help me with things to talk about in the morning. And out of continents? Out of continents. Out of contentness is what I meant to say. Indeed. Oh, you know what I have to do? I have the footage. I know that my YouTube channel is now Farlands or Bust with Kurt J. Mac, because it's now mostly all Farlands or Bust, but I do have the footage from splitting the planet in half in Astroneer that I would like to put through Premiere and edit into a delectable little YouTube morsel that seems like it would get a lot of views and be mildly viral, but I know it won't be, because none of these things ever do. Whenever you think something is going to do that, it doesn't. But then you play, like, Sinking Simulator for 10 minutes, and it has the most views of all the videos on your channel. So, I'd like to do that. So if you're watching this on YouTube, and you're eventually surprised to see some Astroneer footage, worry not. It is still me. It is still I. Do you use Twitter outside of stream announcements? Not like I do anymore. The girlfriend asked about this. She doesn't have or use Twitter. So she was wondering why I use and have it. And I got it back when it was still an okay place to be. I started using Twitter because of astronauts. Astronauts started using Twitter. And then they started doing NASA tweet-ups, they were known at the time, to see space shuttle launches. And I wanted to get in on that. I never did, because I remember being on Twitter and watching the first NASA tweet-up, and it was like, if you signed up, you got in. So like that little group of people all became like very solid friends, and they went and saw a space shuttle launch, and it was like a very bare bones thing. And then they also saw another launch, like, the next day. I think it was the SDO, the Solar Dynamic Observatory. But then everybody realized, oh, I could see a space shuttle launch? And then wait lists, sign-ups, and all sorts of things started to take precedent. So yeah, that's what... That's why I started Twitter. And then it kind of was a little bit novel to just, like, it was a microblogging platform where you just throw a little chestnut out into the ether. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm thinking. Like, it really wasn't even about, like, asking for help with this or what's this, or, you know, like, there were no brands. There were no brands. The biggest celebrities were astronauts. And then some celebrities started showing up and say like, oh, it's interesting to see what you know, Tom Hanks is saying or doing or whatever, but then they all started having their own social media handlers, and it's not even them anymore. So yeah, I definitely do not use Twitter like I used to. And that's a bummer, what they've made of it. And what everyone has made of it. I don't check it as often anymore either. For a while, for a month, I took it off. I like stopped going and took it off my phone and everything. Just because I didn't want to. I would find myself doom scrolling. So yeah. I remember using Brizzly to browse Twitter. This was before TweetDeck or anything, but Brizzly was like its own standalone Twitter viewer composer thing. And it was very convenient because it like self-embedded images to TwitPic or whatever and allowed you to like see reply threads and stuff. And then AOL bought Brizzly and they shut it down. Like, well, thanks. If your favorite service for XYZ gets bought by a big company, just expect them to shut it down. See Mixer. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if at some point Amazon were to shut down Twitch. Like, it might be too much of a liability to them. At some point. I mean, they're happy raking in the dough with it right now, but embrace, extend, extinguish. It's more about destroy, competition, extinguish. And now Google is shutting down Google Music, which I actually do use. And it's like a Groove Shark. I like it much better than these Spotify's and Pandora's. But now they're making it YouTube Music, which I haven't even like looked at. Oh, shut up. Speaking of Google, stop it. My phone was starting to talk to me. Would you like to learn about Google Music? No, I hate it. I mean, I already pay I pay for YouTube Prime. YouTube Prime? Prime Gaming. Prime Time. YouTube Gold. YouTube Xbox Live Pass. Premium. It's premium. So I pay for that, which means I got YouTube Music, Google Music, excuse me, for free. I think that if I have YouTube Premium, that means I get YouTube Music for free, right? Red! YouTube Red! Bread! Why YouTube Premium? YouTube 93 Octane. YouTube Premium. Of course it's YouTube Bread. I had a whole episode titled that. So yeah, I haven't even taken a look. It's probably going, much like Google Reader was, it's probably going to come to the point where they're going to forcibly shut down Google Music and force me to start using the YouTube one. So yeah, I just know a lot of people are complaining. Most people are complaining about being able to import, because you're able to upload like your own MP3s to Google Music or Play Music to have. Pretty much everything I listen to is already up there. But now, like that, now transferring it, there's a lot of problems transferring that stuff to YouTube Music. Um, I haven't even looked at that. Like, because that's how I listen to music in my car. My Bluetooth. How's that? Do I have to have YouTube open? Is it going to be playing videos? And sucking up my phone's battery? My uploaded files. Yeah, I'm assuming because it's on YouTube, it's got to deal with copyright stuff. That it's not going to let you just keep all your music. There's a separate app? So it's not even YouTube? So it's like YouTube Gaming? Which now isn't a thing anymore either? Honestly, I say. I used to use, even though I didn't have an Apple device, I used to use iTunes just because, like, an old version of iTunes, I stopped updating it because they changed it. I used to use iTunes to play all my music on my PC. So I just have folders and folders and folders of binders full of just MP3 files that I ripped off of CDs. So yeah, I guess I'll have to check it out eventually. But yeah, I don't like Spotify or Pandora or those other choices. I just like having, I don't, you know, these radio stations, like it's annoying driving with the girlfriend because she has, I don't know what she uses, probably Spotify, but it's like, here's our advertisement that you can't skip. And then here's a song that you don't like because we have to play it for a quota. So yeah, I don't know. I don't listen to as much music as I used to because I don't have the time unless I'm really driving is really the only time I have music happen to me. This music is happening to me. See, we figured out something to talk about. We did it. I have so many opinions and things and content to last me another 800 episodes at least, right? Woo. So yeah. Oh man, that was so weird. Breaking this block of stone and then having it not break where the block selection is. That's good times. So yeah, it's not too bad, the jitter, right? It's better. So yeah, farlandsorbust.com. Please, for Pete's sake, get those donations in and ask questions, because I'm plumb out, obviously, of questions for the next episode of Farlands or Busts. And we will continue onward. I have a boat, that's fine. Towards those far lands. Bloink. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time. Speaking of Google, stop it.